Welcome back. Welcome back. One, two, 1, 2. Welcome back, Springdale family. We have 5 minutes. Please begin finding your seat. We will begin in 5 minutes. Welcome back. We're glad to see you. 5 minutes. family. Good afternoon, Springdale family. Welcome back. We are so excited to host you and start a new school year. Give yourselves a round of applause. We're going to have a good time. I have one question for you. Are you ready for this show to begin? Are you ready for the show to begin? All right, here we go.
Once upon a time. Isn't that how they all start? But history isn't just a collection of old pages.
No. History is the foundation. Every lesson learned, every challenge faced, and every victory won in our district has brought us right here to this very moment.
And right now, the ink is still wet. I'm Ben Little from HAR-BER High School. I'm a former Turnbow Thoroughbred, Nap Navigator, Shaw Star, Hellstern Hero, and Central Warrior. As I look out into the audience of all you today, I see the authors of our present.
I'm Rowan Fahey from Don Tyson School of Innovation. I joined the Phoenix family in 6th grade. We are standing under the tree of our collective knowledge.
And I'm Meredith Villanueva from Springdale High School. I'm a former Sonora Scholar, Nap Navigator, Sonora Spartan, and Lakeside Golden Eagle. A story doesn't grow on its own. It requires a spark.
Your classroom is a blank canvas. The buildings are quiet, the whiteboards are clean, and the desks are waiting. The spaces between chapters are finally over.
Teachers, staff, leaders, and guests, you aren't just here to manage a school year. You are here to breathe life into thousands of imaginations of students.
To stand with us when we face fear, to spark curiosity when apathy creeps in, and to remind us that we are stronger than our doubts.
Welcome, everyone, to the greatest story on earth, the story of our past, our present, and our future, where all dreams are possible, where every child has a genius inside just waiting to be unlocked. Welcome to the never-ending story of Springdale schools.
Close my eyes and I can see a world that's waiting up for me, that I call my own. Through the door, through where no one's been before, but it feels like home. They can say it all sounds crazy. They can say I've lost my mind. I don't care, so call me crazy. We can live in a world that we desire. 'Cause every night I lie in bed, the brightest
There's a house we can build. Every room inside is filled with things from far away. Special things I compile, each one there to make you smile on a rainy day. They can say it all sounds crazy. They can say I lost our mind. I don't care if they call us crazy. Run away to a world that we design. 'Cause every night I lie in bed, the brightest colors fill my head. A million dreams are keeping me awake. I think of what the world could be, a vision of the one I see. A million dreams, it's all it's gonna take. Oh, a million dreams for the world we're gonna make.
However big, however small, let me be part of it all. Share your dreams with me.
You may be right, you may be wrong, but say that you'll bring me along to the world you'll see, to the world I close my eyes to see. I close my eyes to see.
'Cause every night I lie in bed, the brightest colors fill my head. A million dreams are keeping me awake.
A million dreams. I think of what the world can be, a vision of the one I see. A million dreams, that's all it's gonna take. A million dreams for the world we're gonna make.
For the world we're gonna make.
What a beautiful performance by the superintendent's band. A million dreams. That is exactly what is sitting in our classrooms right now, waiting for us to wake the genius and imagination inside each of them.
But to turn those dreams into reality, it takes a village. It takes every single person in this room, pushing them past the fear, past the doubt, and the challenges of a new year.
The blank pages are ready and the theme is set. Let the
Let the
story
story begin.
begin.
In this chapter, we begin with our foundation. Let's pause to honor the presentation of colors, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance, presented by the HAR-BER High School and Springdale High School FFA.
The Pledge of Allegiance will be followed by the national anthem, performed by the superintendent's choir. Please stand and remain standing.
Hey, wait. Do we want Cleveland? Left. I thought we talked about left. Yeah, but what side do we want Dr. Cleveland to enter on?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Twilight
You may be seated. Wow, an absolutely breathtaking performance by the superintendent's choir. Thank you so much for setting a beautiful and powerful tone for the beginning of our story today.
And every great epic story needs its kingdoms, its heroes, and its legendary crews.
That's right, it's time for a Springdale Schools tradition. It's time to see who's in this house to write the part of the chapter with us. This part is called Roll Call.
When you hear your school name get called out, we don't just want to hear your voice, we want to hear your passion, your pride, and your energy. Let the world know you're here.
All right, Springdale, let's hear it loud and proud for roll call. Elmdale Elementary.
Bayari Elementary.
Can we get Lakeside Junior High?
Harp Elementary.
Do I hear Turnbow Elementary?
Let's hear it, Central Junior High.
Monitor Elementary.
Where's Halster Middle School?
Let's hear it, Shaw Elementary.
Knapp Elementary.
Call it out, Southwest Junior High.
Let's get it, Smith Elementary.
Hunt Elementary.
Is Sonora Elementary in the house?
Let's hear it for Tyson Elementary.
And Springdale High School!
Let's hear it, Walker Elementary.
Westwood Elementary.
Shout it out, Archer Learning Center.
Let's hear it from Parson Hills Elementary.
Early Childhood Center.
Where's Tyson Middle School?
Let's hear it from Jones Prep Academy.
George Elementary.
Call it out, Rollins Elementary.
Okay, SOI, I want to hear you loud and proud.
All right, Sonora already went. they heard their call. Let's hear it from Young Elementary.
George Junior High.
Where's J.O. Kelly Middle School?
And finally, let's hear from HAR-BER High School. Now, all together now. All Springdale High Schools.
Wow, now that is how you start a school year, am I right? The energy is unmatched.
Absolutely incredible. Every school is locked in, charged up, and ready to make some history.
But as we've said, every great story needs a narrator, a leader who sees the potential in every blank page and helps us navigate the path forward.
To officially open our next chapter and share his vision for this school year,
Please give a massive Springdale welcome to Superintendent Dr. Jared Cleveland.
Well, hello. I'm officially the least talented person on the stage today, and that's pretty obvious. Welcome. Today we're going to tell our story, aren't we? We're going to learn about it. It's so good to hear everyone. Was George Elementary here? Swope, where are you? Did y'all let him in today? Well, I have this little prop. Years ago, we did this little magic trick thing. Do y'all remember that? Watch this. Check this out. I got another one. Y'all are so much fun. Thank you so much. I'm so glad you're here. It's one of my favorite days of the year. The only part that's really difficult for me is this part, because I love the music, I love the kids, I love seeing you, and the opportunity to get to share with you what's next is so much fun. But today's so much different. Usually I bore you with things that's coming through legislation or things that's maybe going to happen at the federal level. I'm not going to do that. So you can have a sigh of relief. I'm not going to put anything on you that's super heavy, but I am going to challenge you today. Because as you get older, and I'm getting older, a lot older, you get more reflective. How many of you feel that? This is my 32nd year in this thing we call public education. 32nd year. Is that me? Am I doing that? I've got to stop that. Seth, I'm trying. And there's some of you in here that have more years than that. And there's some of you in here, this is your first year, and you're just psyched to be here because you thought, I'm not going to get a job. What am I going to do? I'm going to have to live with my parents for the rest of my life, and they don't like me anymore. I assure you they do. I assure you they do. But look up there. We're going to unlock every child's genius in chapter 142. What could that possibly mean, Trent Jones? You're that old. You act that old most of the time. And most 142-year-olds have about the same hairdo you have. I love Trent. He's used to that. No, that's the number of years Springdale Public Schools has been around. Believe that? 142 years. That's a pretty good. Another little piece of trivia I've looked up, since we've kept records in the county, since World War II, there have been 5 superintendents. Since World War I, there's been 6. Since we know, maybe since a little bit before that, it's been 7. So part of the history of Springdale School District is that the leadership here needs to be really stable. So I'm going to try to be here a little longer. The school board's here, right? Just saying. No. We have a great school board. Very thankful for them. But it all goes back to what they share with me is that we've got to be dedicated to our mission. And we have to know where we're headed, so we have to have really quality vision. So you did your, I'm looking at you all. You did your, what do you call it, your roll call? I'm going to have to do better. I think I'm making all kinds of racket. I'm going to button this, Miss Creek. Is that better? Okay. We're going to read aloud, just like they do in kindergarten by Christmas. Y'all are going to have to help me. Obviously, I needed your help singing a couple of years ago. I'm going to need your help reading today, okay? So stick with me. Let's read our mission together. Pursuing educational excellence, Springdale Public Schools ensures a safe and inclusive environment, empowering a community of learners. Do we agree? Yes. In our vision, Springdale Public Schools provides personalized, innovative, and culturally diverse learning opportunities to launch each student to a successful life pursuit. Thank you. Our board agrees with us. These are wonderful people. It all starts with them. It ends with them. They are elected by our community, and we are a reflection of our community. Do you agree? We need to be. We want to make our community proud. We love them because they send us their children. And their children are the reason why we are allowed to be here today. The fewer children we have, the fewer of us are going to be here. So, what do we need? We need to make sure that our children want to come and their parents want to send them. Kind of a good thing, right? So today, if you don't know your school board, get to know them. You people that have just been hired, if you see one of them today, thank them for your job. Because if it wasn't for them, you wouldn't get paid. So, I'd like to introduce Miss Creek to come. Are you ready, Miss Creek? All right. If there's a microphone for her, let's bring her a microphone. There it is. You want to go to the front? Just come right on up. Here it is. Miss Creek's wonderful. She's our new president. This is her first time, so welcome her one more time.
Hello, everyone. I don't know Seth, but I wish you could take that picture of me down. Can you put it back to something else? Welcome, everyone. I'm very excited to be here. Yeah, make it smaller at least. So I didn't really have a lot prepared to say, and they told me that I had to be energetic. And I don't sing and I don't dance, but I do have 5 children who have been through the school district. And I thought, while we're talking about chapters, I might just share a story about one of them. Because the chapter that happens after they got out of school, maybe sometimes you don't get to see that. And there are children, students like the 3 you just saw, and you know they're going places and they're going to do big, amazing things. And there are other students that maybe you don't need, maybe that's not very obvious, and maybe they need some extra help along the way. So I'm only going to tell a story about one of my kids today. I've got other stories to tell, but I have a son who has dyslexia really badly. I mean, it's bad. And when he was in 3rd grade, we moved to Elmdale Elementary, and within the first week of being there, Miss White came up to me and said, "You know, he has issues." And I'm like, "Yes, I know." And she goes, "I can help you." And between Miss White and Miss Mubarak, they put that child on a path to know his worth, even when it wasn't obvious. And Miss Hinsey and Miss Hutton had him doing everything in that school. He was raising the flag. He was, anything that needed to be done. They had my son doing that job. And they kept him being a confident, engaged student when it could have been so easy to be something else. And then fast forward to high school, and he meets Mr. Burkett. And Mr. Burkett picked up the reins of his education, and told him that if you really want to be successful in life, you have to be a reader. Well, you know, kids listen to other adults differently than they listen to their parents. And my son went on Facebook Marketplace and bought the biggest box of Louis L'Amour books that you have ever seen. And he read them. And it was amazing to see him reading something that's so hard for him just because an adult that cared for him told him, this is what you need to do. And Mr. Burkett taught him life skills, and he taught him about financial responsibility and about making the best out of a bad situation. And after he graduated, you never quite know what he's going to do. He's very impetuous. He went to work as an electrician, and then one day he was just like, yeah, Mom, I joined the Marine Corps. So there was that. And I've got to tell you, my son is coming home next month after serving 4 years. And he's coming home with no debt and a house that he's going to remodel with the skills that he learned here. And I am so proud of him, and I'm so grateful every single day for all the teachers. And I just mentioned a few, but I am so grateful for the education system that we have, for the teachers that put their hearts into what you do, for seeing children for what they are. I listened to Miss Davis this morning give the most amazing speech at Jones Prep about promising to see the whole child and not just the behavior or the disability or the issue. And I think you guys do such an amazing job with that every single day. Just another couple quick stories. I'm Facebook friends with a lot of you guys, and Miss Moore posted yesterday a picture of a former student who's now a 4029 anchor, and she posted a picture, and just seeing her joy because she's passionate about what she does, and a student that took the time to come back and say, hey, and here's what I'm doing. And so she got to see that chapter. And then there's a story one time I was out at Red Lobster, and somehow the waitress brought up that she had gone to school in Springdale, at Springdale High School, and I asked if she knew my sister, Mrs. Robinson. And you should have seen the change in this girl's face. She lit up, and she said, do you know I'm in grad school right now? And she was not studying math. She was not. But her algebra teacher, who happens to be my sister at Springdale High School, had given her the vision that she could be more and think more and dream bigger. And she was in graduate school and attributed it to a teacher that she had. And so, again, thank you guys so much for all you do. Today and yesterday, thank you, Bill, for an amazing day yesterday. Bill's up here on the front row. Today and yesterday, I think it's real easy for you guys to see how appreciated you are. But I want you to know that the rest of the board who is down here and I support you all day long. Every day of the school year, we try to listen to you. We value your opinions. We try not to make any decisions that impact you without knowing what you think. So, no songs, no dances, but thank you.
Wow, I think I could just go sit down. Way to go, Miss Creek. I like her picture, don't you? That's a great picture. Well, this year, that was fantastic. We've recorded that. We're going to play it again one day just for some encouragement. You did great. We do have a great board, and she's just an excellent example of why Springdale is so special. And she's proved our point today and where I'm headed about being rooted in telling our story and why you matter. Today is about you. It's all about you because you are the hands and feet. You are the ones that get to. You're the ones that get to be with the kids every day. I get to keep the lights on. I get to do those work, those kinds of things because I get to live through you. So, a couple of other people that get to do those kinds of things. We have a new deputy superintendent, and you all know her. And I'd like to invite her up Miss Shannon Tisher. Come share a couple of words of wisdom. Stage is yours.
Let me step into the light. Good afternoon. I am so honored to serve as your deputy superintendent. And for those of you that I haven't had the privilege of meeting, I just want to let you know that this is my 26th year, all in Springdale Public Schools. I came here as a new teacher at Springdale High School a long, long time ago. Yes, it's where I began, just right here. And I never turned back. And there is no other place that I could ever even imagine being than Springdale Schools. I want you to know that there is an entire team of amazing people that makes days like today possible, and it's not us. It's this crew of people that you can't see around this entire room that built this set by hand, that sat with us in a room, and I said, okay, let us paint a picture. Let's have a vision. And they take all that thinking and they bring it to life. And so if you think this is just beyond amazing, will you please give them a round of applause? And in addition to that, you all, even though you're out there and I'm up here, you all are the stars of this show. And what about the incredibly talented team of your colleagues that were up here singing and in the band? And what about Tommy Morris from Southwest Junior High with that beautiful voice? I want you to know that all 26 years in this district have been the absolute privilege of my lifetime. I have raised my children here. My son graduated from HAR-BER High in 23. My daughter is about to be a senior at HAR-BER High. They both had challenges all the way through in their own unique ways. And so I know the power of what you do for each and every child. But here's what I want to impress upon you today. No matter how hard this work gets, being an educator is the privilege of a lifetime. There is no better invention in the history of our nation than the public school system. I just believe that with every core of who I am. And having the ability to come every day and do this work and help every child find inside of them their genius, what they're capable of doing, and what the world has for them to take and do, is just the gift of a lifetime. And let me go ahead and give voice to and value to everybody in the world thinks they know how to do, they know how to be an educator because they went to school once. It's like everybody had a 13-year internship being a teacher, and everybody thinks they know. But I want to give voice to, that is not how it works. There is an art and a science to everything you do every day. It's hard. We cry. It hurts. Sometimes it's the most exhilarating thing in the entire world. Everything a kid experiences, you experience it right there with them. No matter how hard this gets, don't lose how much you love this and why you do this. Because every one of them looks to you every day to see what the day will hold. They get that from you. And that's an honor and a privilege. And so I just want to let you know that we have a team, a whole team of people that are here to serve you. And we are honored to do that. And we also have a brand new member of our team. Some of you have had the opportunity to meet her, and some of you hadn't, so we're going to let her come up and say a few words. Dr. Jennifer Barbary is our new assistant superintendent. And we also have Miss Melissa Fink, associate superintendent. How many of you know Miss Fink? That's what I thought. And then we also have Miss Clay. Miss Clay is our general counsel. She is our friend. Who knows Miss Clay? Yeah! And the last thing I would say before I recommend welcome Dr. Barbary up to the stage is that one thing I can guarantee you from this team, we make every decision with students in mind, 100% of the time. So if a decision is ever made and you're questioning why, think about it from the perspective of a student. And then if you still don't understand, ask questions. And so at this time, let's welcome Dr. Barbary. You needed a walk-up song. Oh, you have one? Well, next time, for sure. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Tischer. Wow, this is overwhelming. This is a lot of people in the room, and I can't see everybody. But good afternoon. I want to say I've had the great opportunity of getting to come to some of your schools or some meetings and getting to introduce myself to you. But the most interesting thing that I can say right now is how amazing it feels to be a part of your family now. So I want to say thank you for welcoming me into your family. This is my 23rd year in education, so I'm getting close. I'm excited about that too. This is my 23rd year, and of all 23 years, there have been something different about each one. And so when I joined Springdale School District and we were talking about telling our story, and this is our next chapter, I'm going to be honest with you. I feel like I closed a book, and I'm just writing a new one. I'm just part of a new book now, and I'm very excited about the new book. This new book for me involves you, and it involves a community that I've never been a part of. And so one of the things I can say for the very beginning when we set the stage is we get here, and I bring my husband and my daughter are with me, and she has been so welcomed into Springdale as a new 10th grader. She's going to be a sophomore at HAR-BER, and she plays sports. And so one of the first things that I can say is she's been able to meet friends. We moved here July 1, slept on air mattresses in a rent house, and she has not been home since. She has so many friends, and I attribute that to you. You've raised these students to be amazing young adults in high school. Some of you are their parents. I don't know how many of you out here have given Baxley a ride, but thank you. I know you're out here. And then just knowing that she could come to school and feel comfortable already before school even starts. It's such a relief as a mother. Miss Creek talked about her son, and then you hear stories about Miss Tischer's children. It really means a lot. So not only are you affecting our children, you affect 21,000 or more students in Springdale. And everything that you do grows them into something that is amazing, that welcomes in others. And that's not always everywhere you go. I can tell you that. I've been a lot of places, and this is the first place I can say I am absolutely 100% overwhelmed with the support and love and community that you guys have. So you should give yourselves a hand for that. Really quickly, my family, my husband and I, we have 3 children. We are both from Pine Bluff, Arkansas. Went to Watson Chapel High School, both of us. He's a year older than me, so I'll say one of the things is our son is adulting, we hope. He's actually living in an apartment in Benton. We moved here from Benton, and he is he's got a college degree. We're proud of him. His degree's not really what he's doing, but that's okay. We're letting him figure it out. Our second child, Brinley, she's 20. She is a sophomore at UCA. Go Bears. Yeah, that's a naughty word around here, right? All y'all are hog people, yes? I'm a bear. So Brinley is in nursing school. She takes finals tomorrow. Her first nursing finals will be tomorrow, and so we're so very proud of her. And then, of course, I talked about Baxley. She'll be a sophomore. And my husband, he has currently got hired at Siloam Springs. He's coaching over there, so that's another big blessing for our family. But it's just amazing how many people know everyone. And yesterday, as I watched and I'm going to call out people's names because it's funny. I know people in this room didn't even know you worked here, which is great. Justin Brantley, where's Brantley? Hey. And then, of course, I saw Miss Moore yesterday. So there's so many things that maybe we're connected and maybe we're not, but now we're definitely connected because I'm part of your family. So I just want to say thank you. I'm looking so forward to this school year, and I can't wait to be a friend of yours and a support. Dr. Cleveland? Yeah.
Thank you. You did a great job. All right. Anybody know when the best time to plant a tree is? It's actually 20 years ago if you can read. Guess when the second best time is? It's today. So we're going to plant some seeds today. Some of the seeds we're going to plant are with a couple of legislators we have. We've got some great friends in the room. Do you care if I recognize you? We've got some Steve Unger, Representative Steve Unger, and Representative Robin Lundstrom. Please stand up if you don't mind. Really good friends to Springdale. Thank you for being here. I don't think I saw any other legislators here, so if I did, I'm sure sorry I missed you. Got a good friend, Gary Head, here too, local banker. Thank you, sir. Appreciate you being here. I know it's time out of your day. And we've got some really great board members too. And I didn't say their names. They get upset with me when I do that. But I see Miss Cook over here. She's fantastic, been on the board a long time. Let me go down through here. I see Randy Hutchison, Bulldog, former Bulldog. We got Mr. Ramos back here. He's also graduated from he's a Bulldog too. Yeah, he's a Bulldog. He'll tell you he's a Bulldog too. Yeah, Nick's a Bulldog too. Yeah. Where's the other board members? Clinton? Where? I saw Miss Cook. Who'd I miss? I can't hear. I don't have my hearing aids today. Huh? Talk loud, please, Miss Fink. Is Clinton here? Okay. All right. I don't have my hearing aids. This thing's in the way because I'm old. So, y'all know I have hearing assistant devices. Okay. Because I don't like hearing aids, right? Okay. This year is so important. We're calling it a gap year. And you're the most important people in the room today because you are going to make things happen. You are going to make things happen. To write your story, let me get away from this microphone, to plant the seeds of tomorrow. Our roots run deep. We talked about how long Springdale has been here. We talked about the leadership and the longevity. Many in the room here, did you see the screen yesterday Mr. Rogers posted of the number of people that have been here 25 years or more that Harps gave away those $50 gift cards? You care about Springdale so much, you stay. That is rare today. You're the best of the best. And I know it. And I'm grateful. Kendra's almost out of a job because you guys act so well. So let's keep it that way. And let's remember, each one of us represents all of us. When we're out and about, let's be on our best behavior. I try to, because I know I represent you. You represent me. We represent each other. It's very important that we know we're from Springdale, we represent Springdale, we are Springdale. Our presence online, you're not alone. People know who you are. Your behavior, where you go, you know who you are. You hear me? I love you, and I care to tell you. Do you hear me? Okay. That's all I'm going to say about it. You provide the building blocks of the future. And if the public can't trust you, they don't trust us. And when I say they can't trust you, I mean you. You means us. Us means the rest of us. All of us. The whole state. All of public education. And if they can't trust us, they can't trust Representative Lundstrom. They can't trust the rest of the legislature, can they, Mr. Unger? They set the rules for us. And they trust us enough to help change some of the rules that we don't like, that restrict us. I'm not going to get into that today. I'm going to talk about other things. We have a core shared belief system. That shared belief system are our 4 pillars. What's the first one? If you know Damon Donnell, he lives in that. What's he doing? Lock your doors. Partnerships. Miss Harrison and Rodney Ellis, they're all about the partnerships. We need our business community. Mr. Rogers is all about it. He was telling us about it yesterday. Our careers, all of our kids are headed somewhere. They never go home and sit on the couch. It's all about grow up here, live here, raise your kids here. If you go to the military, great, come back here. We need our own kids back here, living here. Academic achievement and personalized learning. Personalized learning, to me, is every child's a genius. Everyone, no matter what classroom that child is in. In that box of education we've been in so long, what's our responsibility? Get them outside of it. And we're going to. We're going to find a way for every child to unlock his or her genius. So we're going to go back to our roots. We're going to live in our root system about relationships, providing students opportunity, aren't we? In different ways that we don't get in trouble, but we create new systems for our students to be able to find their genius in Springdale, where other people may not provide the opportunities that we can because we have the systems built and because we have creative thinkers. There were names said in here like Miss Robinson, Chad Burkett, and others who will go the extra mile for a student. Translation, child. And I could name any person in here. Panalto, Ford. I mean, just name them. You guys do awesome things. Absolutely awesome things because you take ownership in your job, your work, your calling, and people trust you. What an awesome responsibility. But with responsibility comes what? An open-ended question, you fill in the blank. You can't break it. It's heavy. Ms. Tischer referred to it a little bit ago. It's hard, and you feel it. You know it every day when you're out there. Sometimes people look through you, and they want to talk about you online. They don't know you sometimes. Sometimes they assume things because they don't know. And I'm not even going to go about the little assumption thing. But you know it. So what do we need to do? We need to educate people in the correct way. You people grew up one way or the other. But all of you have a common heart. And you have a servant's heart. And if you didn't, you wouldn't be here. So how do we cultivate these relationships? You do it by active listening. Something I've had to grow into. Listen first. God gave us 2 ears, 1 mouth. I've been told that all my life. Create safe environments. And you are there. You're present. You're very intentional. We've talked about a growth mindset for a long time. You all could probably teach me a lesson in having a growth mindset because I can get fixated on things. I want to go, 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 go. You provide student agency in all your classes. You help them understand they have a voice in their own education through that personalized instruction. And you provide pathways for them. Now I look out there and I see Miss Robinson. Kids want to take an AP class, and they were like, hey, Miss Robinson, I talked about it over at HAR-BER the other day, and that's okay. She didn't get mad at me, so I'm going to do it again in front of everybody. They want to get out of a AP class. You know what she says? Nope, not today. You signed up, you're staying. And that's good. They should be celebrated for the work they do, all the staff. Culture. Whoa. Have you ever heard anybody talk about culture? Man, our culture sure does stink over here. Who creates the culture? Talk to me about that. Who creates culture? If you're pointing... So I told the principals, I've never seen a really quality building without a quality leader. Same thing with the superintendent. Never seen a really good district with a stinky superintendent. Well, maybe they did stink, but they weren't very good at their job if the district wasn't very good. Vice versa is true. Really quality, intentional principal who cares about their staff and their students typically has a very successful building. Yes? Goes for business too. Banking, harps, chamber, whatever it is. You have good, quality, strong leadership that cares about everyone in the program, everyone in the asset management, if you will. You're going to be successful. So think about that. So if you hear somebody say, man, our culture's kind of bad, you might want to talk to the person who's saying it. Got a toxic environment over here. Might be the person that's saying it. It's creating the toxicity. And vibrant choice. What does that mean? We live in a world of choice. How many of you bought your own car, or was it given to you? I want to see hands. Did you buy your own car? What is that noise out there? I know I've got hearing, I don't have my hearing aids, but I hear something. You got to choose what you bought. Not everybody chose what they wore today, but for the most part, you get to choose your own clothes. For the most part. You get to choose where your kids go to school. For the most part. You get to choose a lot of things. Vibrant choice. Parents get to choose. Just because there is a zone anymore, we don't get to choose. And so what we have to do is we have to provide vibrant opportunities for parents who want to choose us. Yes? Places need to be safe, and we need to make sure every child believes they're welcomed and wanted. And so we need to restore them at every turn, even when they make us mad. Anybody ever been mad? I've been mad. I used to have a preacher one time, he'd get all excited and he'd stomp like that. You know, when I get excited, I'd want to do that too. I've been so mad at people before, and I'm sure I've made them just as mad. But you know what? We got to get over that. Restore kids back to you. And we've got to have predictable care, meaning people need to understand and they need to know we're always going to care, even if we get mad. We're going to bring them back to us, and we're always going to serve them. We're just going to do it. We're going to always serve, aren't we, Dr. Greep? How many know Dr. Greep in here? I'm almost describing that guy. I should have put his face on this board. Dr. Greep, you're the best. You are one of the best people I know, and I'm proud of you. And I could have named all of you in that. I'm sorry to call you out, Dr. Greep, but I could have said Jason over here, Mr. Musclebound over there. I'd say something about Dr. Flanagan, but I'm afraid he'd stand up and take a mic and we'd be here 30 more minutes. I don't even know where Dr. Flanagan is, but let me see if I can hear him. Oh, he hadn't said nothing. All right. You got to love Dr. Flanagan. You know Dr. Flanagan, you love Dr. Flanagan. But y'all help me on something? Campus pride. So we were over at Jones Prep Academy this morning. Building's almost 70 years old. The mayor said something about that building. He said, I'm 69, and if I look this good, something to the effect of, I wish I looked as good as this building did at 69 years old when it's 70 years old. Meaning our campuses, although some of them are aged, are in really good shape. And mostly it's because you help. But sometimes things get torn off the wall. You know what I'm saying? So as we get back to class, let's make sure that we help our maintenance department, led by Jeremy White, by the way. We don't want Jeremy to run off, so let's try to help he and his team. Let's try to help he and his team. Let's just say that. By the way, I know I give Trent a hard time, but how many of you saw what the media team did? Who's your favorite teacher? Anybody see that this summer? Are you plugged in? I'm going to tell you what, there are tons of you in here. Your name kept coming up over and over and over and over and over. And I want to applaud you for that. That is a hard thing to do. And it's not by accident. Many of you have that natural charisma, that thing, whatever it is. I noticed my name wasn't in there anywhere. You know, next time do who's your favorite superintendent, Trent? At least I might have 1 out of 5 shots, you know. I'm sure, you know, Dr. Rollins was here for a long time, close to 40 years. I'm sure it'll be Dr. Rollins and Dr. Rollins and Dr. Rollins because everybody else is dead. So, I'm just kidding. Surely somebody's alive somewhere, Randy. I don't know. Here's my point of this slide. Wouldn't it be great if your name was on there? I saw Marjay's name 100 times. I don't see Marjay because the lights are on bright. But I'd put Marjay's name down too if I had her in class, just because I know the kind of character she has. That doesn't happen by just happenstance. I saw Dr. Smith's name on there 100 times. Neither does that. It's the character that you have. It's how you treat people. So if you want your name on who's your favorite teacher, know that every moment matters with every child, every day, even when it might not matter to you. How many of you had a moment with the child and when you took off, you went, oh. It's happened to me. How many of you have done that? You don't have to raise your hand. It's not church where you got to go to the front. It's happened to me. Don't have those. Those moments matter. And if it does happen, fix it right then. Every child is beautiful. Every child matters. Because you don't know what they're facing. You don't know what they go home to. You don't know if they're going to come back for you to fix it. Fix it then. Am I right, counselors that are in here? Counselors' jobs are too hard. They don't want to fix your mistakes. So who will you inspire to be you? Think right now of the teacher who did for you. Probably wasn't your parent that inspired you. In fact, if your parent was a teacher, they probably said, don't be a teacher. We got to fix that too, by the way. So if you're a teacher and your kid's going to be a good teacher, quit telling them no. If you're a board member and your kids want to be a teacher, quit telling them no. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to yell at you. We need really good teachers. So 2 of mine are teachers, and I tried to tell them no, and so I shouldn't have told them. However, just as trees go through seasons, so do we. You can probably tell what season I'm in. Some of us in the room, we're in the early season of our career. I remember that season. I had energy, except for the first day. First day I had energy. I came home after whatever time I got home. I didn't even eat. That'll happen to you, and it's okay. It's not every day. You'll get used to it. You first year people. It'll happen. Y'all, you're laughing. You know what I'm talking about. You just don't even eat. You're too tired. You're just out. Second day, it's better. By the next week, you're okay. I mean, your voice comes back, all those kinds of things. But let me tell you, the people next to you in the hall or in your building that are in a different season, maybe have hair color mine, find them, latch onto them. They're the smartest people there. They will help you and they want to. Okay? But if you're in a season to where you feel a little rejected, a little down, you find somebody that's not. You find a Flanagan out there. He's never had a bad day. Right? You find a Burkett. Never had a bad day. You find somebody that you know that loves what they do, and you let them love on you a little bit and encourage you to where you can be built back up. I have to have that too. Find those thought partners. So just as trees go through seasons, so do we. Anybody know this guy? So I want to tell you, Coach DeBusk has been a longtime friend of mine, and you know he did almost 40 years of public education. He was a really, really good guy. He's been under the weather. I don't think he'd care if I told you this. He fell and broke a hip not too terribly long ago, and then, as Coach DeBusk would do, fell and broke the other one because he got up too early and tried to get out and about. But he's got a distinguished career. He went to HAR-BER Springs and coached for a long time. And then he came up this way and worked at Shiloh a little bit. And then he came here and worked 23 or 25 years, something like that. But he's been I'll call him a thought partner for me. And he's one of those guys that is just an encourager to me. And I really, really like him. I got to tell you, he's healing up. He's healing up. And I thought it'd be really good if he came and talked to us today. Let's welcome Coach DeBusk.
Making your way in the world today takes everything you've got. Taking a break from all your worries sure would help a lot. Wouldn't you like to get away? All those nights when you've got no lights, the check is in the mail, and your little angel hung the cat up by its tail, and your third fiancé didn't show.
Thank you very much.
Well, Coach DeBusk, as I've told you before, you're one of my favorite people. You've corrected me a time or two when you thought I needed it, and you've shared some wisdom with me a time or two. Oh, by the way, we've got Coach Fimple. Anybody know him up here? Know what I'm saying? Coach Fimple is also a fantastic human, and I think Coach DeBusk raised him a little bit too, right? Yeah.
Lots of clinic talks, I can promise you.
Yeah.
Lots of knowledge coming out. And I can see a lot of guys that got that same knowledge wherever we were at together.
Like I told you, it's going to be a little different today. For those of you that don't know Coach DeBusk is a legend. And he's not a legend just in Springdale, he's a legend across the state. And he's not just a legend in the area of football. He's an athletic director. And I'm going to talk about you like you're not here a minute. Is that okay? Okay.
You will anyway.
I will anyway. That's right. See, he knows me. He doesn't work here anymore. He told me I don't care what you think or what you say, but I think he still does. We're really good friends, and I respect him deeply. Mostly for his ability to communicate and his ability to share in a kind way, in an articulate way that resonates with me, because he's led from the front, he's led from the back. And as we talk today, I think you'll understand what I mean by that. So we've got some prepared questions, and I gave them to him, and hopefully he has some answers that are, PG. So His wife's here, so I know I don't have to do anything about, policing that. She'll do that for us. So anyway, no, Coach DeBusk, thank you so much for taking time to do this. And wasn't it great to see him walk out here? I can't imagine anybody breaking both hips and being able to walk out there. It shows you his tenacity and his willingness to be here. So, and he's doing it for you. So,
let me say something first here.
okay.
I thank you for this. I'm not deserving in any way. I just want you to know this is a great honor for me. And if I get a little emotional here sometime, I've never done that before in my life. I've not done that until I've started. I've got old now, and I think when you got old, you get more emotional or something. But I'm happy to be back here and would do anything for this school.
Yes, sir.
Your turn.
Okay. I told you, he's a little bossy. No, he's really great. He's really great. So you spent nearly 5 decades in education and athletic administration. So looking back on your journey from Heber Springs to Shiloh for just a little stint, and then the majority of your education experience here in Springdale, I know you have a lot of core principles, but which core principle guided you from day one that still with you in life today that you'd like to share with the people that are starting out and the people that might be toward the end of their career?
All right. One thing I'd like to pass on here is I've heard everybody speak about a job, and that's what this is. You have a job, but it's not a job. I've never had a job in my life. I'm doing what I love and have loved. He asked me earlier in this question when we talked the other day, well, what was it? I don't know what it was. My dad was not a big sports fan, didn't do anything. My mother was, but they allowed me to be and a coach and do what I wanted to, and I've done it. I wouldn't give up 1 minute for it. I love working with kids, and the best job I ever had, I'm even using the term job, but it's not, but the best thing that I had here, I got to do the in-school suspension. And I know y'all laughing about that, but I promise you this, if I could come back and work now, and we're able to, that's what I'd do. I'd try and do some coaching with Coach Pimple and all them, but I literally loved that in-school suspension. I got to work with kids, all different kinds. Some had problems, others didn't. Just a lot of good stuff there, and I got to meet a lot of kids. And I hope I touched some of them. I think I did. But that's where I came from. You've got to love kids. If you don't love kids and don't want to help them, find something else to do. You know, I'm serious. Find something else to do. Let me tell you one more thing. And I want to tell you, in all those years, and I'm not bragging about this, but I took it because I got this from my dad. He was instilled in me. If you have a job, somebody's paying you to do something. Whether you think it's enough money or not, but that's all you're getting. And give them a day's work for that money, or however long it takes. Dr. Cleveland tried to hire me back right after I retired. In fact, 2 weeks after I retired, he called me in his office and said, would you want to go back to work? I said, I don't know. At that time, I didn't, but I should have. But he told me he would hire me back, and I'd only have to work half a day. And of course, he said to him, I'm going to have pay. That all worked out good.
I knew he'd work full time.
Yeah. But when he did that, I told him, I said, what do you mean work half-time? What if I'm not done with what you want me to do? Then I've got to work till I get it done. That's just I don't quit at 4 o'clock or 5 o'clock. I work till it's all done. And that's what I try and instill in kids. But that's what I'm about.
That's a great core principle to have.
That's a great answer. Coach DeBusk, let's talk about this, because I was looking at this. 47 years, let's just say you've been around 500 kids a year, walking through the hallways, coaching and all that. That's over 20,000 people, and that's probably a low number. That's mostly, that's bigger than most cities, but you've been around those kids. Talk to people, and what did you want them to carry on from you? What was the lesson that you wanted them to learn, the kids you coached, the guy, people that you worked with?
Well, I wanted them to do their best and accomplish something, and that their job wasn't just there. And also to respect themselves and respect their parents, respect adults, respect everybody, respect each other. I think that's a lot that's missing in this country right now, is we don't respect each other enough. Everybody can have an opinion, but you know what? My opinion is just as good as Dr. Cleveland's. And I'm going to listen to him. I may not agree with him when he gets through talking to me, but he can tell me whatever he wants, and I'm going to come back and tell him what I think, and we can either agree or disagree. But we have that ability. And why do we get so upset with people that don't want to do it the same way we do? This country is not built on that.
One day, Coach, you and I had a long discussion, and we talked about children in general. And like Coach Fimple talked about, you've had a lot of them come in and out of your life. And you mentioned before that educators can't treat every child the same. You said because every child comes from a different home situation. So how do you develop that intuition when a student needs a pat on the back or a different kind of persuasion?
Okay.
So how do you do that?
A pat on
the back or a different kind of persuasion.
Right.
I'm not going to say what you said.
Okay. Well,
different form of motivation, right?
I tell you, I'm not bragging about this either, but I believe I've had, and when I think back for a long time, when I first got into business, I feel like I have an ability to read people and read kids. I think I can talk to them, and I can tell real quick what's going on with them or what do they need. And I think I can help some of them. Some of them I hadn't been able to help. I've tried to find them somebody else to help. As teachers, one thing to get in good graces, and I don't mean that in a bad way because they're not that way, but get to know your principals on a personal basis. They're going to have to help you sometime. And you need them there. And they need you. But mainly just kids, I just love to be around them and did. Whether they're old or not, but and I'm serious, I don't stress this enough. ISS was the best thing that ever happened to me. It really was. And I'd do it again all over.
All right, so let's talk about this because you probably don't remember this call, but I'm going to go into it because I'm going to get a little story here. When I was in Conway, we talked about a situation with an official. A lot of people don't realize you were an official, correct?
Yeah, for 23 years.
You were never wrong, I'm sure.
Never.
Anyway, the whole thing is this. I called you and we talked about it, and you told me I was wrong. And we talked about what I needed to do because I had made a mistake with the referee crew. Do you ever remember telling me this and telling me that I needed to write a letter, not typed, but handwritten, and I had to send it to that referee crew? Do you remember that?
I remember.
Yeah, I'm sure you do. But I ended up having to write a handwritten letter saying that I was wrong and they were right. So there was a lesson that I had to learn. In life, me and you have talked about this also. What do we make a mistake. How do we learn from it? And then how do we grow from it?
Right. I've made many mistakes with this. Guys, when I graduated college, I went back to Heber Springs as my hometown, and I accidentally got a job. And that's really true. A guy that had been an assistant coach here for quite a few years quit around August 1st. And I didn't have a job yet. I'd been interviewing at some places, but I hadn't had a job yet. And my high school principal at Heber Springs called me and said, Jim's quit. And I knew who he was talking about because he had went to school there too. And he said, he's quitting. We need an assistant football coach. Are you interested? I said, well, I might be, but I've almost committed to a job somewhere else. And he said, well, don't worry about this. It's your hometown. I'll get to take care of it. So he took me to the superintendent's office, and we talked, and I decided I'd take it. Well, one reason I took it, this job I was about to get was going to pay me $6,000 a year.
Lucrative.
HAR-BER Springs was going to pay me $7,800 a year.
Even better.
And to be at that point, seriously, when I signed that contract and knew I was getting $7,800, I thought, I get to $10,000, I'll be rich. I showed you how smart I was. But what happened then, this principal that got me the job at HAR-BER Springs, 2 weeks before school started, he retired or resigned and went to flipping as a superintendent. Well, he no more gets up there, and he calls me and said, hey, I got a basketball coaching job open. Would you come up here? And I said, no, I'm not coming. You've got me out of this one thing. I'm not going anywhere else. And I wanted to be at HAR-BER Springs. I really had a goal at one time. I wanted to coach there forever. If I could say, coaches, Lou Holtz made say one time, there's only 2 times of coaches. Those that have been fired and those that hadn't been fired yet. So it's going to happen, and it does. You just see it's going to happen. In 10 years, one job. So I was going to stay at HAR-BER. Well, it worked out. I didn't know enough about coaching. I'm serious. It's, you got to sometimes just get through it. And 4 years later, the guy that had been the head coach there at HAR-BER, he left. He was leaving. And he came to me and said, would you want this job? I know it's your hometown. Have you ever wanted to coach here? And I said, well, I've always heard don't do that because, you're going to get fired. And he said, do you want this job at HAR-BER? I'll go get it for you. I'll tell the superintendent I'll hire you. And he said, if you ever want to coach at your hometown, you better take this opportunity. And show you how good a coach was, he turned to me face to and said, because I don't care who they bring in here next year to take that job, take that office over there that I'm leaving. He said, they're going to win. They're going to win for 2 or 3 or 4 years in a row. It don't matter if it's you or not. You don't have to know anything. Just get over here and don't mess them up. And that's basically what I did. And then I hired me some good people, and it was a great run there. But it was time for me to leave. And I left there and came to Shiloh, stayed there for 8 years, and then came to Springdale. Best thing that ever happened to me was coming to Springdale. Best thing ever. HAR-BER Springs is my home, but this is my second home. This became my second home. I felt welcomed. I tried to work with everybody. I think I got along with most people. If I didn't, hey, that's okay. They don't have to get along with me. I had great coaches to work under. I got to work under Coach Williams his last 5 years. And I think somebody maybe asked me a question the other day when we were talking about this, about fear. How do you get kids, And I said, well, I never tried to get a kid to fear me. I didn't want him to fear me. I just wanted him to respect me. Respect me, I respect him. We'll work together. I'll pat him on the back. I'll kick him in the butt if he needs it. Sorry about that.
Oh, yeah. Well,
Okay. I got my microphone away, so not everybody heard it.
yeah. I know. You didn't hear that, right?
All right. So, I got to work with Gerald Williams. Well, Gerald was feared. I think a bunch of people in here could tell you that. But he had been here so long, 30 years, it was more of a fear of respect. Even the players that we had those last 5 years, they weren't scared of him. They just respected him and knew they better not get in trouble. But he was a great guy, still is. I was honored to work for him for those 5 years. It really was. And and one little side note that his brothers, I don't know if y'all know, he had a brother, Daryl, twin brother. His brother coached me when I was in the 9th grade at HAR-BER Springs. He was at HAR-BER Springs for 1 year. So I came up there, I got to visit with him more. But I'm just telling you, they taught me, then Gus Malzahn, y'all have all heard of Gus, and he came along with some new ideas, and he came over to Springdale, and he put those together. And there's a lot of people who didn't think they'd work. Nobody when I was at Shiloh thought it'd work. And he came in behind me and just wore them out. And then nobody thought it'd work over here because it was new, and nobody wanted to believe that somebody come up with something that new, and it worked. But what happened, Coach Pimp will tell you, defensive coach as he was, it always catches up. Defensive coaches learn how to handle an offense. Now you got to find something else. He's got to change something. And Gus was pretty good about that. So, and then they mentioned another person, Eli Drinkwitz. I don't even know if y'all know Eli. He's a coach at Missouri right now. He coached here with us for 3 or 4 years. Great young man, very intelligent. I loved him to death. I tried to help him. Well, he applied for the Springdale job. After Coach Johnson, they had come up with cancer, and they removed him, so he could go get more treatments. He ended up passing away to that. But in the spring, they were hiring a job, are going to hire somebody. Well, Coach Drinkworth applied for it. Shane Patrick applied for it. There's about 4 or 5 of them that applied for it. Good candidates and everything. But I knew from the beginning, they put me on the committee, and I didn't like that because I was going to have to work for the guy. And I didn't want my boss to think I was stepping on his toes or something. So I was going to do that. Well, Dr. Rollins allowed me to be the interim head coach when they asked Coach Johnson if he needed to go get more treatment. And I told him I didn't want to do that. And this is where I learned about leadership in people. I said, I don't want to do that. I've done it. I've been a head coach. I want to be an assistant. I'm right where I want to be. I'm an assistant athletic director. I'll help with all that. I'll do anything. But hire one of those other guys. There's guys over there who've been head coaches that are wanting a job. And I said, so I don't want to do it. And he turned to me, and it was Dr. Rollins good. He said, I didn't know anybody asked you if you wanted to or not. And I took that to mean, I guess I'm the assistant, the interim head coach. And I was, and he told me if I wanted to apply for the head job in the spring, I could, and he'd interview me. And I said, well, you don't have to worry about that.
Remember your microphone there, Coach.
Oh, is it again? Okay. And, to bring it up, Coach Drinkwitz was staying on here. They picked another guy. He got mad at me because I was on the committee and he didn't think I helped him try and get the job. And I didn't. I went and talked to Dr. Rollins. He told me he wasn't going to hire him. He's going to interview him, but he wasn't going to hire him, so there wasn't any need to fight that. I had to find a coach I could work with. So we're in spring ball that spring, and Coach Malzahn calls Eli and said, would you come down here and be a GA for me down at Auburn? Well, man, that's an opportunity, a young guy. It's going to cost him some money because he's getting paid here at that time about $40,000, $45,000. He's going down there and get about $5,000 for being a GA. So, but it was an opportunity. He took it. He went with Coach Malzahn. If they had hired him at Springdale as the head football coach before all this happened, he would have been the head football coach. He would have took the job. And if Coach Malzahn had called him after that and said, would you come down here and with me on this, he wouldn't have went because he had integrity, had honor, he'd do the right thing. And if he told, if you were Coach Dr. Rollins and he told him, yes, sir, I'll take the job, he would have never left it that year. He'd have stayed here. He'd have made more money and he'd done a good job coaching here. But you know what? Today he wouldn't be making $8 million a year. And he got mad at me because what I did. And I've called him before, and I call him about every time I talk to him. I say, when are you going to send me part of this $8 million? I kept you out of the job. Why
all about a path, isn't it?
That's right. All about getting it done, and I'm glad I did. Help him with it. And that's all it's been. That's all I've ever tried to do is try and help people if I can and help kids. I have had kids come. I had a kid at Heber Springs. I hadn't seen him in 10 years, I guess 15 years. We were at the horse races last spring, and he was there.
Now, this story I hadn't heard.
No, this is clean.
Okay.
That's good. And
we're off the track.
Him and his family had moved from Memphis.
Just remember your microphone.
Yeah, and I treated him good.
Or should we put the microphone up? I don't know. Is this a good story?
Well, no, he told me, he said, Coach, I want to tell you something. You never know how much you helped me and got me out of some problem. I said, what are you talking about? You were a good kid. You didn't get any problem. No, he said, when my dad died, his dad died between the summer of his junior and senior year. And he had moved from Memphis, so he didn't have a lot of people over here anyway. He had moved when he was a sophomore. And I'd got him, and I'd taken, and he said, I said, what are you talking about? You did what you were supposed to do. He said, you took me under your wing, you wouldn't let me get in trouble. And he said, I remember the times you took me to your house for supper and all that. I said, yeah. He said, I needed that. Okay, forget that. What was that? Was that clean enough?
Clean enough.
But I've had kids like that, and you people teaching, you've got to realize this is all about the kids. And you can't just work with them during school. You're going to have to find some, talk to their parents. I've had, I'll tell you as a coach, and I think Coach Frimple here was telling me the same thing, and any of the other coaches, I think Brett Wood and Dan Howard, I think y'all would all say, if you didn't have to fool with the parents, it'd be a great job. Well, I've always believed that, but by the same token, the parents can help you. But I had a young man that he wasn't a very good player, but he was doing, he's doing all he could do. And we got to noticing every Monday when he'd come back to practice after ball game on Friday night or whatever, he'd come back to school. And we'd spend all day Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday patting him on the back, telling him what a great kid he was and getting his, well, one Monday I had 3 of his teammates come to me and said, Coach, you've got to talk to Jeff's dad. He's killing it. He's killing him. I said, what do you mean he's killing him? He said, Jeff doesn't want to go home after the ball game. He wants to come. If he comes home, he goes straight to his room. He doesn't talk to anybody. And I said, what is his dad, when he comes through the door, starts telling him what a bad game he played and how bad he played. And he, just telling him that. So I said, okay, I'll take care of it. So I called his dad. I said, would you come up to the house? I was up here on a Saturday morning. He came up there. And I said, hey, I can't coach your boy anymore. He said, what? What's he done? I'll take care of this. Let me help you. What do you need to do? I said, no, I just can't coach him anymore because you won't let me. And he said, what? He's out there at practice. I said, yeah, but I have to work on just picking him back up. I said, you're killing him, from what I'm being told by 3 of his friends. He said, what do you mean? He said, you get on him as soon as he comes in the house and tell him how bad a player he is. And I said, where's he playing? He said, well, he plays defensive end. I said, yeah. I said, what's he supposed to do? And I called out the defense we had. I said, what's he supposed to do on that when we're in that defense? Well, I don't know, but he's not making any tackles and he's letting that kid get outside. I said, okay, he's not making any tackles. I said, maybe he's not supposed to. Maybe he's doing something to get somebody else where they can make tackles. Right. And so he told me, he didn't realize he was doing that or said he didn't. He turned out to be one of my biggest supporters. But he left his kid alone too. And so you never know what you may have to talk to kids about or talk to their parents. Even teachers in the classroom. If you have a kid come in the first day, you're going to set your classroom like this. If you're a new teacher, demand respect. Don't browbeat them, just demand. They should respect you. And you should respect them. If you're still having trouble with them, it keeps going, have a meeting with them and their parents. And it'd be better off not to just have them and their parents. Have another teacher in with you. Or if you think it's bad enough, get your principal in there. This day and time, people say too many things. And you got to be careful what you say. But you got to, I don't know, but all I can think about is kids. I've had some more like that. I've had a bunch of kids that tell me they appreciated me. I didn't even know they understood me. I said things that might not have said to some kids, and they asked me that. They said, they're glad you said that to me. So, I understand that. Let me see, one more thing on this. We had a young man come up from Fayetteville play for us one year. And he was a good player. He was a quarterback. He wasn't bad. Well, when he came out one night warming up, at halftime, I was sitting there, and he picked up a football, and he said, hey, Coach, you play catch with me? I said, no, I don't play with you. He said, why? And I said, because you're not good enough yet. I warmed up Gus Malzahn.
I thought it was Mitch Mustang.
Mitch Mustang, excuse me. Mitch Mustang. I've warmed him up. You're not good enough yet for me to warm you up. That's how I warm up. And it was a joke halfway and all that. And so the next year we're out there almost at the identical time at a ball game. And I picked up the ball and said, you ready to warm up? And I threw him the ball and he just sort of stood there and looked at me. And later he told his dad, he said, I've got to be as good as Mitch. You know, so watch what you tell kids, because he wasn't as good as Mitch. But as teachers, you've got to do the same thing. Don't run a kid off. Don't send them off. Talk to them. Give them an opportunity to get back in there. If they don't, you go to the principal. I had a young man at ISS one time that every 3 weeks he came to ISS, just like clockwork. He'd be there. And after the third time, I asked him, I said, and he never caused a problem when he came. I mean, he did everything I asked him to do, never did a thing wrong. And I asked him, I said, why are you in here ever? Because all he was in there was being tardy. It's usually the same class, but being tardy or some little thing like that. It wasn't for shooting anybody or hitting anybody. You know, you're just, doing that. Well, I found out, and he told me he struggled in the classroom. He didn't, when the teacher would give him an assignment in the classroom, he might only have 10 minutes to get it done. He just couldn't do it. He just, something was bad, and that was just not his deal. That was not his situation. But he could come over to ISS, do what I always had him do when they first showed up, and then he could work on his own work. He would do all the work he had not done in class. He'd take it back to the teacher the next week, and she'd give him credit for it. But he didn't bother me by being in there. He did that a semester and a half. And I finally talked to the teacher about it, and she worked with him, but it wasn't anything he had against anybody. It's just he needed every kid needs a teacher to be different. You can't teach them all the same way. You've got to find out what's wrong and something's not right, because most kids want to learn. So that's what I enjoyed the most about it, and I've always enjoyed teaching coaching.
Coach, as we wrap up, and I know you're probably tired.
I'm tired.
And we could do this all day long. Yeah. If you had one piece of advice.
Well, my wife says I talk too much, so I better quit.
Well, I could talk to you all day, but we've only got about 30 more minutes to get this thing wrapped up.
All right.
There's one piece of advice you could give everybody here. What's it in 30 seconds?
Dang, I can't do that.
Oh, we're going to have to.
Let me tell you this. I would tell you, it's got to be about the kids. That's all it's about. Love them, hug them. If you have to do something else, fine. And I will say this, and I'll close up with something Dr. Rollins. Every time he was in a meeting like this, and he'd close like Dr. Cleveland's getting ready to close here, he would talk, get through, and as he'd start to walk off, he'd say, well, y'all are dismissed. He'd start walking, he'd turn around and say, it's all about the kids.
Let's congratulate him and thank him for being here.
That was too much. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, glasses. Let's thank Coach DeBus. We've got him a little gift. Thank you. We love you, Coach. Got a little Magnum PI. Thanks for being here, Coach. Wasn't he great? And he did a really good job. He didn't cuss. We practiced. Some of those stories he didn't tell. So, no, he was really great. And I know we probably went a little long, but he's so entertaining and he's so good. And, I'm so glad he's healthy. He's such a legacy. His name was on some of those remarks. Who's your favorite coach? Who's your favorite teacher? And he's one of my favorite people. So thanks for inviting him back, because he's part of our family. He's part of our family who is known and trusted, and he's earned it. And some of the stories he told me, we can't tell here. But they're part of our legacy and part of our past that's got to be remembered and cared for and sheltered and taken care of. But we go through seasons. So I'm going to ask you, winter, fall, spring, summer, what are we going to do? What specific student success fruit are we going to celebrate in each of the semesters? What's your plan to ensure that you dedicate time to reflect and renew your own self? That's important, and that's something I fail at every single day. I don't know if you can tell. Y'all see this? It looks like my wife hit me. I promise she didn't. But I get the shingles when I get a little bit stressed, and it usually presents like in my eye. Anybody else ever gets shingles? Oh, it's so awful. It's really awful. It's bad. This aging thing is not much fun. What new ideas or cultural practices are you going to plant this new year? And how do you plan to strengthen and nourish your students and your colleagues this year? Now think about it. We talk about kids a lot, but also think about the people next door to you. I told the new teachers the other day, you are about to meet some of the best friends you'll ever have for your entire life. Is that true? Oh my heavens. Some of you that aren't married, some of the people you just met are going to be in your wedding. I'm just telling you, those things happen. But there are some seasons here. Every child belongs. If you think about a child, every child belongs. And I know you folks in secondary, I was a secondary person. It's kind of hard to think about some of those kids, especially seniors, as a seed, but you plant seeds with them. You plant seeds with them. Value every kid. And sure, every child knows that they're a genius. And you're going to help them. Right, Franklin? We're going to help every kid. I really like this. Those of you that are science people, do not judge me on my knowledge of science and horticulture, okay? I'm going to use general terms. How many of you know that trees speak to each other? Yeah, you science people, way to go. The redwood forest and the giant sequoias, the root systems are together. They communicate. When one is a little sick, the other provides nutrients. That's who you are. You're the root system for all of our kids and for each other. The family of Springdale, your roots run deep. And when the winds blow the hardest, you're the reason why we don't fail. It's not me, it's not the board, it's not the community. The heartbeat of this whole place is you. It's you. Absolutely you. We have a shared story. We collaborate. We've got to protect that time. You agree? I know it's hard. Our interconnected community grounds us and enables us. And we have to make sure that when one of us is sick, the other pulls forward. It's a team approach. Every seed belongs. First sentence is the most important. We're better together. We can never let anyone divide us, or anything, or any group. Right, Joel? So just as seeds require safety first, we have to make sure that all of us feel safe in our own community. Then we build environments that recognize and unlock each child's unique genius. And you've got to look at them like they're a genius walking into your room every day. Anybody ever been to the redwood forest, seen the giant sequoias? Man, that's the coolest thing. It is the most unique thing you'll ever see in real life. So you be like a tree. That's a funny thing. Here's what I mean. Be strong, be resilient, be confident is what that's supposed to say. I looked at that 100 times. Be confident. Be confident. I'm going to go on past that. Miss Tischer, thank you for looking at that and not seeing that where I had 100 people look at that. Look at my mistake. Be confident. Golly. I am so sorry. I tried to do really well. gosh. Okay. If you can't laugh at yourself, who can you laugh at, right? We have a collective legacy, and know that although you're only here for a minute, and even though it's 30 years, 35, 40, it's only a minute. We've been around for 142 years. We're part of that little dash. Right, Miss Markham? We're just there for just a short time. But if we want Springdale to be what Springdale's been for the next 142, we better do everything every day the best we can. All right. These three pillars are going to define us. Safety. We've got to provide our kids with the best education possible, and we've got to provide them opportunity. Yes? I know you're probably getting antsy, need to use the bathroom, some of those things. We're adults, we can do that. And every child has genius with them waiting to be unlocked. If you believe that, I want you to clap. Thank you. So I know you're awake. How many of you have seen the video, Be a Mr. Jensen? You haven't? Great. It reminded me of Damon Donnell.
I have a lot of memories from when I was a child. One that's always stuck out to me, though, was when I was about 10 years old, and I was in school, and I struggled. And I didn't struggle with English, math, or science. I struggled holding still. And I would try to listen and focus and process ideas, but I couldn't help myself. And to be honest, I would sit there and then I would just start tapping. And the students in the class would look at me and they'd say, "Hey, stop tapping." A lot of the time, I didn't even realize I was doing it. And then eventually even the teachers got after me and they would yell at me and they'd say, "Clint, you have to stop tapping." It got so bad that I got sent to the principal's office for tapping. And he said to me, "Okay, maybe when you go back to class, just try sitting on your hands." And so I did. I went back to class, and when I felt myself starting to tap, I did this. I sat on my hands. And that worked for about 5 seconds. One time I was tapping in class, and my teacher, Mr. Jensen, he looked at me and he yelled. And he said, "Clint, stay after class." And I thought to myself, this is it. I am done. Now, I've always been the type of person that believes that a single moment in time can change a person's life. And this was one of those moments for me. And I will never forget it. And so I was sitting there with Mr. Jensen and an empty classroom. And he walked past me and he sat next to his desk and he said, "Clint, come here. I want to talk to you." And as he looked me right in the eye, he said, "Now, I need you to know something. You're not in trouble. But I do have just one question that I have to ask you." And he asked, he said, "Have you ever thought about playing the drums?" And in that moment, Mr. Jensen, he leaned back and he opened the top drawer of his desk. And he reached in and he pulled out my very first pair of drumsticks. And he held them in his hands and he looked at me and he said, "Hey, Clint, you're not a problem. I think you're a drummer." And from that moment on, I've never put those sticks down. I've toured, recorded, and played drums all over the world. My whole college education was paid for with drumsticks in my hand. Just because of a single moment in time when somebody believed in me. And he saw something in me that I didn't even see within myself. And from that moment, I learned that there's a difference between being the best in the world and being the best for the world.
You're the best for the world. You make it happen because you see things others don't. And you make sure every child knows they're a genius. You're Mr. Jensen. You're the ones who do it. You find their DNA and you make sure it's unlocked. so they find their personal growth, and you celebrate their individuality. And it's not on any particular timeline. How many of our students find who they are as seniors? Some of them do. Some find it out early, like that little boy. And that's okay, as long as you provide them the opportunity to know that it's okay to explore. And that's what we do. You collaborate, you communicate. That's why we do our work. Because some of you know things about other kids that slide through classrooms that other teachers don't. That's the core pillars of our teaming, right? I could talk a lot more about that, but I'm not. We invite you to plant your collective hopes today, our hopes and our commitment. I'm asking every educator to write a single, powerful, one-word hope for your students this year. So think of that. You don't have to do it right now, but go back to your room, go back to your car, whatever. And it's almost like a prayer, but think about what it is you want for your children that come to you this year, and write that hope. And plant that hope in your heart. Put it on your wall, put it on your desk, open it up every day and look at it. And know that all together, all 2,000 or so of us, that's going to be a collective hope for this year. We're going to share that story. It'll be a digital story. Take a picture of it, send it to Trent. Let's overload his email. He's happy to do that. And we'll put those together, and then we'll show it digitally, okay? Will you do that for me? This shared action physically is going to manifest our dedication to cultivate a vibrant, thriving educational force that every child will unlock his or her genius. That's what I envision our hope tree to look like. And it'll be the leaves that you create. So let's tell our stories. I'm going to move on. So, we're going to need a fight song. All right? Y'all ever heard that song, fight song? Not going to sing it. Going to be some key insights here. Through a growth mindset, we're going to be resilient. We're going to have some shared learning. Hey, look at who's out here. Go ahead and raise the screen. I'll just get off the stage.
On the ocean, sending big waves into motion, like how a single word can make a heart open. I might only have one match, but I can make an explosion. And all those things I didn't say were wrecking balls inside my brain. I'll scream them loud tonight. Can you hear my voice this time? This is my fight song. Take back my life song. Prove I'm alright song. My power's turned on. Starting right now, I'll be strong. I'll play my fight song. And I don't really care if nobody else believes, 'cause I've still got a lot of fight left in me. Losing friends and I'm chasing sleep. Everybody's worried about me. I'm in too deep. Said I'm in too deep. And it's been 2 years. I miss my home, but there's a fire burning in my bones. I still believe. Yeah, I still believe. And all of those things I didn't say, a wrecking ball inside my brain. I will scream aloud tonight. Can you hear my voice this time? This is my fight song. Take back my life song. Prove I'm alright song. small boat on the ocean, sending big waves into motion. It's like how a single word can make a heart open. I might only have one match, but I can make an explosion. This is my fight song. Take back my life song. Prove I'm alright song. My power's turned on. Starting right now, I'll be strong. I'll play my fight song. And I don't really care if nobody else believes. 'Cause I've still got a lot of fight left in me. Yeah, I've still got a lot of fight left in me.
So remember, as we go through this year, things are going to be rough, time or two, but crisis doesn't build character. It only reveals it. It only reveals it. So if you panic, if you lose your mind, you know what you got to work on, okay? You know what you got to work on. So if you want to take a picture of that, take it. There is a really good little poem. Only takes a couple of minutes. But I listened to it the other day, and we edited out a little cuss word, because I don't like cuss words. But I thought you'd like it. And it's about, what do teachers make? Please
What's a
take just
kid
minute
going to
to
learn
listen.
from someone who decided that his best option in life was to become a teacher? He reminds the other dinner guests that, you know, it's true what they say about teachers. Those who can, do. And those who can't, teach. I decide to bite my tongue instead of his. And resist the urge to remind the other dinner guests that it's also true what they say about lawyers, because we're eating, after all. And this is supposed to be polite conversation. I mean, you're a teacher, Taylor. Come on, be honest. What do you make? And I wish you hadn't done that. Asked me to be honest. Because you see, I have this little policy in my classroom about honesty and ass kicking, which is, if you ask for it, then I have to let you have it. You want to know what I make? I make kids work harder than they ever thought they could. I can make a C+ feel like a Congressional Medal of Honor, and I can make an A- feel like a slap in the face. How dare you waste my time with anything less than your very best? I make kids sit through 40 minutes of study hall in absolute silence. No, you may not work in groups. No, you cannot ask me a question. So put your hand down. Why won't I let you go to the bathroom? Because you're bored, and you don't really have to go to the bathroom, do you? I make parents tremble in fear when I call home at around dinner time. Hi, this is Mr. Molly. I hope I haven't called at a bad time. I just wanted to talk to you about something that your son said today. To the biggest bully in the class, he said, "Leave that kid alone. I still cry sometimes, don't you?" And it was the noblest act of courage that I have ever seen. I make parents see their children for who they are and who they can be. You want to know what I make? I make kids wonder. I make them question. I make them criticize. I make them apologize and mean it. I make them write, and then I make them read. I make them spell. Definitely beautiful, definitely beautiful, definitely beautiful, definitely beautiful, until they will never misspell either one of those words again. I make them show all their work in math class and then hide it on their final drafts in English. I make them realize that if you've got this, then you follow this. And if somebody ever tries to judge you based on what you make, you give them this. Here, let me break it down for you so you know what I say is true. I make a difference. Now, what about you?
I don't know about you, but I like that guy. But I had to edit that little word right there. I didn't seem to edit enough or find the right one. So remember, The tallest tree and the strongest tree in the forest isn't the one with the tallest branches. It's the one with the deepest roots. We have to have those deep tap roots, and we do. It's called the Springdale family, and you make up that tree. You make up those roots, and I'm so proud of you. So this year, be rooted in purpose, stand firm through every season, and we're all in different seasons. Help each other grow. Plant seeds you'll never see fully grown, because you're planting a tree that others will sit in that shade. Because one day, as we know, we plant those trees. You'll find shade beneath the tree that you planted. So, I'm proud of you. I love you. Let's write a wonderful story this year. Let's welcome back those wonderful 3 students that were here today. Thank you. I'll see you in a bit.
Wow, what an incredible address from Dr. Cleveland. The pen is officially in our hands, and the pages are blank.
But a book is only as strong as its characters, and the characters of Springdale Public Schools are legendary.
Every single one of you sitting in these seats and every student who will walk through our doors next week carries a completely unique perspective, a different plot line, and a personal victory.
We wanted to know what this journey looks like through the eyes of the people living it every day. So we took a camera across our district and asked our students and staff one central question.
What is your Springdale School's story?
We asked them why they chose Springdale. We asked how a teacher or student completely changed their life and what their biggest and wildest dreams are for this upcoming school year.
The answers we got prove that while our stories might all be a little different,
We're all part of the exact same family.
Take a look at the screen and let's see the chapters we are building together.
For me, Springdale has been the place where I've been able to start teaching. It's been a great place where I've been able to learn.
I was born here. I'm raised here. It's about school.
There actually are a couple of teachers that still teach here at Walker who were teachers when I was a student here. And so those relationships have been really special to me. It's been a family. And so just getting to live and work here has been amazing.
I think Springdale schools have more diversity in cultural-wise. There's a lot of Islanders, Hispanics, African American, Native Americans. I just really like to see that happening because I want to meet new cultures and learn about them more.
I love our community and the children. They make me feel just to love.
What I want to do is I want to try to pay attention in class and be awesome so I can go to 8th grade.
For my future career, I either want to be a soccer player or I want to be a UFC fighter.
Trying to go to college. I'm in the medical field and I really want to get better, learning more stuff about deep into the medical.
My biggest goal is to graduate and probably apply for college in the islands and continue my journey from there and also communicate with the Lord and getting closer with God.
One time I really wanted to be a firefighter. One time he wanted to be a superhero. Woo. Exciting, fun, and supercalifragilisticexpialidocious.
Wow, hearing those voices, seeing those faces, that is exactly why we do what we do. That is the heart of Springdale.
Every dream shared, every teacher or student who has changed a life, those aren't just moments. Those are pillars of our story, foreshadowing the future.
The video may be over, but our reality is just beginning. School starts Monday, the school doors will be open, our students will return, and the rest of our story has yet to be written.
No one else can write it for us. We must write it ourselves. Today is where our next chapter begins.
Staring at the blank page before you, let the sun illuminate the words that you cannot find.
Live your life with arms wide open. Today is where your book begins.
I am unwritten, can't read my mind, I'm undefined. I'm just beginning, the pen's in my hand, ending unplanned. Staring at the blank page before you, open up the dirty window, let the sun illuminate the words that you cannot find. Reaching for something in the distance, so close you can almost taste it. Release your inhibitions, feel the rain on your skin. No one else can feel it for you, only you can let it in. No one else can speak the words on your lips. Put yourself in words unspoken, live your life with arms wide open. Today is where your book begins, the rest is still
I break tradition. Sometimes my tries are outside the lines. Yeah, yeah. I break big condition. But I can live that way. Oh, staring at the blank page before you. Open up the dirty window. Let the sun illuminate the words that you cannot find. Reaching for something in the distance, so close you can almost taste it. Release your inhibitions, feel the rain on your skin. No one else can feel it for you, only you can let it in. No one else can speak the words on your lips. Put yourself in words unspoken, live your life with arms wide open. Today is where your book begins, feel the rain on your skin. No one else can feel it for you, only you can let it in. No one else can speak the words on your lips. Put yourself in words unspoken, live your life with arms wide open. Today is where your book begins, the rest is still unwritten. Staring at the blank page before you, open up a dirty window, let the sun illuminate the words that you cannot find. Reaching for something in the distance, so close you can almost taste it. Release your inhibitions, feel the rain on your skin. No one else can feel it for you, only you can let it in. No one else can speak the words on your lips. Put yourself in words unspoken, live your life with arms wide open. Today is where your book begins, feel the rain on your skin. No one else can feel it for you, only you can let it in. No one else can speak the words on your lips. Put yourself in words unspoken, live your life with arms wide open. Today is where your book begins, the rest is still unwritten.
Aren't they great? Golly, they're so wonderful. So last thing, I want to pause just a moment and thank this amazing crew that made this set come to life. Let's give them a hand, please. Thank you for all your time today. Sorry we went just a little bit long, but it was worth it, I think. I hope it was to you. Thank you to the band, the choir. Thank you to our student EMCs. They were marvelous. So as you leave this PAC today, remember, it's not a final chapter, that the impact that you're going to make on every child's life here. You are the co-authors of their future. You're writing the story of your legacy as well. So step into your classroom, step into your buildings with confidence, embrace the journey that we're going to have, and let's make this the best yet. Have a great year. Remember, it's all about the kids. Thanks, guys.
In my hand, ending unplanned, staring at the blank page before you. Open up the dirty window, let the sun illuminate.